Okay, gang, here we go. Let's get the show on the road. So today, what I want to talk about is the five profit centers of no equity. Now, I put in there no equity because it's funny how when I sent out the invitations, if I put short sales, I got a lot less responses because I think people are just allergic to the word short sale. They're going to come back. I mean, talk to those people in Southwest Florida with inventories going up crazy, nothing selling. And I'm telling you, the bank is going to be under pressure. They're going to start foreclosing and people are going to be upside down. And all these things are going to be needed. All these five things I'm going to talk about today. You can decide if any of these opportunities are for you. I'm not going to force you into it. I can't determine it for you. A lot of it depends how you're wired. For example, if you're wired to make a good listing presentation, then that's what you should do. But if you're not wired for that presentation, you should find something else that's going to suit you better. So you can decide if these opportunities are for you, how relevant. We want to talk about how you're wired. One of the more important features is going to be how much relevant experience do you have? How much can you bring to the table with regard to any of these opportunities? Now, when I say opportunities, these are things that we can do to make money. I'm not going to charge anybody anything, but I do want to participate in the deals as we go forward, because even if I take you, put you on my lap and I teach you how to do one or all five of these different approaches or these necessary evils within short sales, you're still going to have questions. You're still going to need things until you get the experience. But if you come in with some relevant experience, you're going to have a leg up on some of the other guys that are in here. How invested are you in the opportunity? Do you really see that there's something here for you? Do you really think that there's something that you could make some money with? Because that's the most important thing. We're not here to cheer each other on. We're here to make money. Which opportunity is the best fit for you? There's going to be several opportunities in here, and you're going to have to determine which of the five fit you the best. And lastly, how much investable cash do you have? Because if you have investable cash, you can enter the short sale realm as the short sale buyer. And as you're going to see at the end, that's the most important and the most profitable position in the whole business. So first, we're going to talk about boots on the ground. This is the entry point to working on short sales. Their responsibility is to pull LPs probably every other day, every third day. They're going to have the responsibility of meeting with the homeowner, going out there and making the first initial contact. And then once they get the contact and they earn the trust of the homeowner, and I'll show you how to do that. It's real simple. They may or may not be fighting off investors and other sorts of creatures that are coming by their house because of the LP, but I'll teach you how to do it. It's a simple process, but you have to keep in mind that you can't close them on the first visit. So once you get in, meet the homeowner, you're going to make introductions. And I'll tell you about that in just 1 second, because if you're boots on the ground, you probably have the least amount of skills as it pertains to the other four that I'm going to talk about. But you can learn and you can move up quick. And when I say move up quick, you can move to one of the next few slides that I have. Property for sale. Okay, so the property has to be listed for sale before you submit your short sale package. You have to be a licensed agent to list a house. One of the more important features is having a listing agent that knows how to pull responsible comps. What's a responsible comp? A responsible comp is keeping an eye on what our end game is and the fact that we're trying to move this property to get rid of it. I will teach you the best way to pull responsible comparables so they can't be seen from the bank's perspective as something that they're not going to fly with. So one of the other things, when you list a property for sale, you're going to become a listing agent. You're going to be in touch with the homeowners as well. So you're going to be responsible for collecting documents and some information for the processor, because the listing agent is only going to list a property for sale. Will they sell it sometimes? Yeah, they will. Sometimes they'll sell it, but we won't talk about how bad a bite that a short sale or a lender is going to take out of your commission. We'll save that for the end of the training on the listing agent, because I don't want you to get too sour on it. But just as an overview, when the bank is getting real tight on their haircut, the first thing they're going to look to is reduce your commission. So listen, you're in the business, you understand the way it works, and you know there's going to be more than one deal out of this stuff. So you just take it and you take it just like a professional. Again, learn. You need to learn everything, take everything in with regard to your listing. Next, you're going to be a short sale processor. If you have the skill, like for example, I was speaking to, I can't remember her name last night on a webinar, and I saw on her little description of herself that she was a transaction coordinator for a real estate office. You're going to be perfect. You have to unwind all the information that you're going to be getting from several parties. You'll get information from the boots on the ground guy. You'll get information from the agent, and you'll get information from the owner. So it's going to be your responsibility to use a checklist, gathering and organizing our documents. Now it says short sale processor, but really what you are is a short sale getter ready to submit. So the short sale processor is very important before we get the okay from the bank to be a short sale, because we have to gather all the documents, get them together, and submit them in the bank. You're going to be consistently in touch with all the parties involved. Everybody has to be kept in the loop with regard to what's going on. You're going to help prepare the short sale package, which is a package of documents that I have personally tailored for any of my short sale packages. And if you've ever done a short sale with me before, you already know that I include more documents that get the bank thinking about what's going on with their investment. Because you have to remember, we're asking the bank to take a haircut. They're going to end up selling or allowing the owner to sell this property, and the bank is going to take less than they're entitled on their mortgage. So they're getting a haircut, but that's just the way the business is. You're going to help get the property closed. And what that means is you're going to take everything that is submitted to you. You're going to help me prepare the short sale package, and then we're going to submit that to the bank. And above all, again, learn. I want you to pay attention to what's going on around you, because someday you'll be the next slide. If you're a processor, it's a natural fit. And that's a short sale negotiator. Not always. You have to know how to negotiate specifically, and you also have to know how to negotiate with a bank. So a processor sometimes can be a good negotiator. And once we get to know each other, I'll learn who the best person or who some of the best people are to become a negotiator. Because when you become a negotiator, you pretty much run the short sale. So you'll be running your own short sale businesses eventually, because I'm not going to be around all, forever. And I'm going to pass on all the information I have to the people that I think are going to make the next best short sale negotiators, because they're the tip of the spear. You're going to be the only contact with the lender. Sure, sometimes the short sale processor needs to contact the bank for clarification, but the person that's going to be most important with regard to our negotiation is going to be the short sale negotiator. So I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll let you know who I think, because we'll talk, and I'm sure some of you that have the wants and needs to be someone that runs their own short sales, I can teach you how to do that. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. There it is. Okay, here's the best guy to be. And if you know that's a picture of Ivanhoe when he was younger, but he had a lot of hair. Anyways, this is the most profitable party in the short sale, and they have the least responsibility, and they don't have to do any work. All they have to do is prepare an offer. And of course, that's going to be done, or should be done, by an agent, and just wait to close. So the most important features of a short sale buyer is they have to have cash, and they have to have patience, because being able to close in short sales is not something that's going to happen overnight. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 6 months will pass. And as long as the buyer is patient, they'll be getting properties at below prices that they could get at any auction, because there's no competition. There's nobody else bidding on the property other than you. And I'll show you how this works when we get into the details of some of the other slides, or some of the other things that we're going to do. But like I said, the short sale buyer is an important guy, and it's the biggest money. You could expect to make deals like the banks will take properties that they're owed $225,000 on that are worth maybe $150,000, and a short sale buyer pick it up for less than $75,000. And if they don't, we don't do the deal. Simple as that. So I've got about a 70% success rate with my short sale packages being accepted. A lot of the people out there that are doing this, they run a little lighter on their short sale acceptance. That's because they select the wrong properties. So not only are we going to be selective with the properties, but we're going to pick the best people to run these things through. And everybody's going to learn along the way. And like I said, I don't want to charge anybody any money for this information because I could never charge you enough for the information I'm going to give you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to participate in the sales as well. And this will have a little drip down effect because I'll also be able to give you information that I just don't think of. So let me get my screen out of here and stop sharing. Okay. So I think I've covered it all and I've done it in 13 minutes. I probably have a few minutes because I'm going to go to 10:25 for some questions. If you want to, Ivanhoe puts them in the comments, but if you want to just raise your hand somehow on this thing, I'd like to be able to answer any questions you have because I went by fast. And what we're going to do is I'll send out other emails later on that will detail when we're going to get into either being a processor, being an on the ground guy, being a negotiator. So I'll teach you guys how to do it piece by piece. And then once we get to the point where we're ready to pull the trigger on stuff, we'll have more in depth and probably more impersonal, is that a word? More, less of a group thing. We'll have, 2 or 3 people at a time on a call rather than 15 or 16. So does anybody have any questions that are I could answer in 16 minutes, actually less than that, 15 minutes. So come on, Ivanhoe. I know you have something to ask me. Thank you. Thanks, Ivanhoe. All right. Let me see how to do this. New message. Could you buy a short sale with a conventional loan if the property's in good condition? Okay, that's a good question. But the answer is no. You can't buy a short sale with any financing. You're going to have to pay cash. Now, the cash doesn't have to come out of your pocket. You can borrow the money, but you cannot buy a short sale with financing. The bank's not going to take any contingencies when they go ahead and when they consider the fact that you're trying to short sell something. And number two, we really can't take properties that look good. So the better the property looks, the less likely the bank is going to want to take a short sale. Let me give a quick example of what happens. The bank, when they sit down to decide, first of all, if they're going to foreclose on a property, because that's what happens. Your LP shows up, it shows that we're in foreclosure. The bank had made a decision and said, you know what, we can't get this borrower to pay. Let's go ahead and sell it at the foreclosure sale. Now, if they sell it at the foreclosure sale, they project out that if the house looks good, that they're going to end up being able to get as close to the price that they're asking that they want to get at the foreclosure sale, or they'll let an investor buy it and they'll make their money that way. So the better it looks, the more they think that they stand a chance to get a big dollar. So the worse it looks, the more often they're going to look at a short sale more kindly. So I don't want you to think you can get something beautiful, although you can get something you can work with, but it's necessarily not going to be beautiful. Okay, so let's see. I have another question. What do the conversations usually look like with the banks as a negotiator? Well, that's a pretty heavy question, but essentially what they sound like is it's just like when you're negotiating with a seller or you're negotiating with anybody. You have to lay out your points and you have to stick to them as closely as you can, all the while understanding that you want to get this property sold for the homeowner. Now, the fact is, I designed my short sale program not only to get the property sold, but also to make a profit. Because in most cases on my short sales that I'm running, I'm the buyer. If I'm not the buyer, I bring in somebody to buy it from my buyers list. That I hope all you guys are building your buyers list the right way, because that's a very important piece of information that you're going to use, especially with regard to short sales. Because the best thing to do is get the thing listed and get an offer, and now we can submit our package. So I like to control it almost 100% of the way. But let me see. I think I have another question. I hope I answered that one. Yeah, so it's about negotiating it the same as any other time. But there's little things that you do. For example, when you submit your short sale package, you have to include things that the bank has to think about. And I'm not going to get into it today, but we make the bank think about their position hard. Okay, can the BPO cause a problem with your offer? Yeah, what's going to happen is we're going to submit the offer to the bank. Once all the package is complete, we got a contract, we submit it to the bank, and the bank goes, okay, we see you're trying to steal our house. Let us go ahead and send another broker out to get an estimate of their value. So yeah, of course, because brokers that do estimates for banks think that if they give them a high value, that the bank is more likely to list it with them or something like that. Forget it. Don't happen that way. You'll never get a listing from a bank off a short sale. You'll never get one off an REO. There's special places you have to go and training you have to receive and pay for in order to do that. So anyways, can the BPO cause a problem with your offer? Absolutely. It could tank it. However, we have ways to overcome those issues. And I'll teach you how to do that. And that's what helps us get our rate from 35 to 70%. Okay, let me see the next one. What's the timeline between getting an LP to submitting a short sale docs to the bank? What that is going to speak to is going to speak to the desire of the homeowner. If the homeowner has a fire under their butt to provide all the documents that are necessary, then we can get it done quickly. Okay, so the problem is going to be getting all the documents together for the bank. We've got everything that we need. I know what we need from the seller, but they've got to produce it for us. The real estate agent has to produce their documents for us. If we have a seller that's ready to go and a fire under their butt, 3 weeks. If they're not interested or if they don't want to work with us as much as we like, I don't know how long it's going to take. If it takes too long, we're probably going to have to end up firing them because we don't want to waste time. In real estate, you already waste enough time. You have to talk to people that you're never going to contract with. You have to make offers that are never going to be accepted. So you waste a lot of time, but hopefully you're learning along the way. Does condo foreclosures work the same? I've only done one condo as a short sale. And in light of the fact of what's going on in Florida's condo market, I know y'all know about that new law that's coming into effect on the end of the year, due January 2025, with the condos having all the additional responsibility of keeping a clear financial picture and all the reserves. Then they have to make all the inspections and they have to do all the repairs that are revealed by the inspections. There's going to be so many condos for sale. I don't think anybody's going to buy any. I know I'm not going to touch them. And if anybody could figure out a way to make money off of this problem, because it's going to be here. A lot of other investors I know are very interested to talk to you about it, because if I could learn something and we can all make some money off it, I'm interested. This is going to be a death knell for condos. I don't see how they're going to get out of this because insurance rates are going up. Condo association dues are going up. The news on every day I see in Orlando that people are crying because the HOAs are going up 100%. People can't pay that much. So there's going to be such a flood of condos coming on the market that you're not going to be able to believe it. And by the way, realtors, don't take any of those listings. You're never going to sell them. Because think about it, who's going to buy it? Who's going to buy it and take over the responsibility of all those increased costs? Even if you pay cash, you're crazy out of pocket every month. On top of that, don't become an officer of a condo, because you're going to be personally responsible and personally liable for anything that goes wrong with the finances or the inspections of that condo. So I'm going to have, if anybody brings a condo, I'm going to have to pass. I apologize, but I don't want to waste anybody's time. Okay, and I think I have, okay, here's a question. Can you describe the process as an example? Yeah, essentially what happens is we get our boots on the ground guy to figure out the LPs, take an LP in their hand, go out to the homeowner, and then make the pitch. The pitch is simple. We're not talking about the pitch today. Knock on the door. You're not going to close them on the first visit. It's probably going to take at least 2, if not 3 visits. Once we get the okay from the homeowner, we'll turn it over to the agent. Now the agent starts getting the house for sale, and we turn that over to the processor or the negotiator. If I'm involved, I'm going to be the one that goes to the house. I'm going to interview the homeowner myself. I'm going to tell them all the documents that they need. But what's going to be good about that is that the parties that are also involved in that short sale, be it the agent, the processor, or even if I'm the negotiator and somebody wants to come with me, I don't mind having 2 or 3 people there listening to my presentation to the homeowner, because it's a checklist. What it does is it makes sure that the homeowner is being honest with us, and it gives us the information that we need to move our short sale to the next level, which is give everything to the processor. Let's start putting our package together. Then once we get the house sold, we'll submit the short sale package to the bank. So Jose, that was a really fast example. I promised 25 minutes. You guys can go whenever you want. I'll stay on for a few more minutes as long as I'm getting some questions. Okay, let me see. Okay, Ray, you posted the website. Thank you very much. What's the timeline between getting the LP to, didn't we just talk about that one? Yeah, we just talked about that one. Okay. So here's Ivanhoe. I've always had the negotiator as the same person that as the transaction coordinator. What are the benefits of having two different people handle each discipline? That's a good question, Ivanhoe. The difference is that sometimes people that are good transaction coordinators are introverted. They're not going to be extroverted enough to be a powerful negotiator. The negotiation really starts with the submission of the package, because in the package, there's powerful documents that prove our point, that prove that this house has to sell for less, and these are the mitigating circumstances. I personally have never used a processor as a negotiator successfully. I've had a processor do some negotiations, but I was unsuccessful in getting those through. And until I learn otherwise, I'm going to suggest that it wasn't the negotiator was the problem, until I learned that it was me. Because my packages are pretty tough to overcome. And you either have to be blind or stupid to not understand the argument that I'm going to make to the bank. So thank you for the question. But like I said, sometimes the processor and the negotiator are different personalities, and they're not supposed to be the same person. Okay. I have a question here. Who's getting the bill for all that? Isn't the realtor the first point of contact with the homeowner? Yeah, it sure is. If the realtor's working right, if the realtor's doing his job, then he should be the first point of contact. And in that case, either I know the realtor in advance or I don't participate in the sale. Because even though the realtor is the first contact with the homeowner and the homeowner likes and trusts them and they're telling them all their little secrets and all the stuff like that, I don't want a realtor running my short sale, because my short sale is my short sale. I'm going to make money on it. All the people involved are going to make money on it. And I don't know that this real estate agent knows enough to drag me along. I'd rather find one where I get to pick the agent. I want to be involved first. I'll pick the agent and then we'll decide how we go forward. I really don't like it when the agent picks me. I mean, I'll do it, but I'm reluctant. I guess you guys figure that out. But thank you for the question. The bill for the condo repairs. Take a look at, I don't know the number of the bill off the top of my head. I wasn't prepared to talk about it today. But the bill, the Florida state statute that goes into effect December 31st and until January 2025, it says that the condos have to meet a certain condition. And if there's anything wrong with the property, then all the owners of the condos have to pay the bill. Not only do they have to pay the bill, they have to pay the engineers and the architects to do the inspection. And these are buildings that are over 4 stories high. So the condo has to pay, the condo association owners. So it's just going to be a shit show for condo bill. If you look now, all the condos are going up, especially in Southwest Florida, but it's going to get worse. I was telling my girlfriend the other day, I said, honey, if we owed a condo, we needed to get out last year because that's where we're going to get our best price. So typically, boots on the ground, realtor contacts the homeowner and may list the property. Realtor is on getting paid by the bank or from the buyer. You choose the agent. So typically, boots on the ground, realtor contacts the homeowner. I personally do not know any realtors that are making contacts with LP. I don't know who they are. And if you know someone who's doing it, I'd love to talk to them because I can help them refine their pitch and they can help me refine mine. But I don't know one person that's an agent that's reaching out to LPs without being pushed like from someone like me. Because the brokers all sit back on their ass. They don't know how to contact LPs. They don't know what to say to them. So how's the agent going to learn? Realtor is only getting paid by the bank or the buyer. Okay, the realtor is only getting paid by the bank. If we do a short sale properly, it's by the bank. The bank's going to pay it, and we're just going to increase their haircut that they're getting by including a realtor commission. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. LOL. Thanks, Jose. Yeah, man. Okay. Okay. What do we do from here? What's going to happen next is for those of you that attended, I'm going to be in touch with you through email, and I'm going to let you know when I'm going to offer an advanced look into being one of the 5 people. Number 5, I don't have to teach anybody, because if you got the money and you're lazy, you can be a buyer. You just have to buy them right. And I'm not going to let anybody buy something wrong. So because our reputation will be on there, and we want to keep that buyer happy for as many properties as we can make him happy for. Like I said, in most cases on short sales where the deal is too good to be true, I'm gonna be the buyer. But we'll occasionally take somebody in from outside the market. We'll also occasionally let people in the group, whatever party you are, if we find that we have such a good deal, let's buy it together. Let's, 5 or 6 of us do it. So there's all kind of ways to make money. I'm running short on time. I promised only 25 minutes and I'm at 31. So thank you all for coming. I'll be in touch with you if you attended this. I'll send you the recording once I learn how to do that. Thank you again for coming by. I appreciate it very much. Thank you all for being here. Thank you.